Hello, I'm going to briefly explain this new frame ID feature. This has been requested by many acetate manufacturers that do their prototyping, batch prototyping for large collections in with 3D printing. So before actual production, they verify their frames with a desktop printer. It could be FDM or a resin printer. Um, so the basically the need was to have some type of labeling, some way to identify parts, because parts grew very quickly for large collections, including if we're talking about temples and fronts. So what this does is basically, sorry, first I'm going to add a previous setup for this frame just for aesthetic purposes, and I'm going to turn off the dimensions. So what this does is basically add, as you can see here, an identification for this frame. You can change it. It starts at 001. You can change it to any other 3-character ID, and it will add one to each temple and below the left rim. So this is engraved. So let's say I've designed this so that it has a 0.7 millimeter depth, and the height is variable. You can play with the text height. In this case, it's 1.5. That's very small, maybe for a 3D for an FDM printer, but maybe your frames are also very thin, so you need to keep them small. I can go, in this case, it's a very thick frame. I can go up to 3 millimeter height. And what I would do normally now is download this. Let's say I download the STL front, and I would also download the STL the temples. So just to check, I want to go to Rhino and import those files that I just downloaded, just to verify. So these are the temples. And this is the front. So this is an STL file ready for 3D printing and prototyping. You can see that it's identified correctly. Yep. Now I'm going back to the tool, and let's say I wanted to export a flat version of this frame. I could go to flat frame, and I could export this as well as an STL file with its ID. And if we are talking about quick prototyping, we can add the snap fit feature, which will add a simple snap fit so that you can connect temples with the front. It's not a hinge, it's just something to quickly get your frame geometry complete. Because I've heard, well, I've got it's been mentioned by many manufacturers that they just glue them, and this is for quick prototyping again. And one last recommendation: if you are going to, let's say, do a 2D drawing for this frame, the ID number will be included in that PDF sheet, so that you have everything identified and neat and clear and in order. So both frame ID and 2D drawings, as you can see, it's telling you to turn it on, use it, download your files, and then turn it off. For example, I finished with my adding my label. I'm going to turn it off. And the reason is that both of these functionalities are very, they take up a lot of computation time. So if you decide to continue to work on your frame, it's going to make that experience very sluggish, because it's doing a lot of calculations and computations on the back. So after either doing your 2D PDF or adding the frame ID and going back to design, just turn those off. So I hope this was helpful, and it helps you streamline and quicken prototyping for your collections.